refuse to do a sponsored video, I do not care how much money you want to pay me if the product is bad. That has happened multiple times. I use the product. I'm like, guys, I can't post about this.
Without question, you know, the
like,
products that you have used that you know, haven't been sponsored, you've gone out and purchased with your own money, and you've used them, and you've, you know, this is what it looks like, and this is what I experienced. I tend to be more like, I'm going to go buy that because she's not being paid to say it. She's showing us the result in real time. This is what it looks like. Okay, I can trust that this is going to be somewhat successful, at least for me, you know, and a lot of these companies will offer you samples or little travel sizes that you can buy that you can kind of try it out without really investing a ton of money. So I like that about any YouTuber who's like, I used my own money to buy this and yeah, it was crap, or yeah, this was amazing. Like, and there's no, to me, I will almost always take a person's word when they've spent their own money, spent their own time. Versus, so-and-so paid me to say this, you know, it's kind of like, did it really work? Or are they just making it for the video? So I do really appreciate you wanting to give people products that are really going to do a good job, not just because somebody paid you to say that they would. So that's awesome.
And that's why sponsored videos, I'm so careful with. I want to make it abundantly clear that while product was sent to me for free, my opinion is my honest own. You know, like, I am not going to lie to you if the products are bad. They're, you know,
well,
and very,
you did, well, you weren't sponsored, but you had gone out because everybody was asking you to go try out this Target brand, Kristen S or something. And you liked it, but the smell was very overwhelming for you. And you commented on that. And so I was like, okay, I'm real sensitive to smells. So when I was at Target the next time, and I was like, oh, I kind of see what she's talking about.
Did you go smell it?
Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe she's right. I'll stay away from that one for now and do something else, because that's a real, experience, a real response. And for those of us who are sensitive, you know, with the smells, that was a good point to know.
My driving, like, another thing that really drives it is to give information to consumers, because having more information allows you to make more conscious purchases. You don't have to go out and buy all these things and try them for yourself. If I can give you pieces of information that will allow you to eliminate options so that you're not overwhelmed.
Well, I want to go into, you know, you've done this YouTube video, the YouTube channel, and you were doing a lot of these just out of, you know, all these videos just to, hey, this is how you do it and this is what you do. And recently you've actually started what's called your curl class, where you can purchase a really nicely packaged set of videos. That's very step 1, step 2. And it's like, it's idiot proof. Like
it's super slow and broken down and very detailed.
I purchased the class because I was like, I'm curious to see what this is like, because we're going to have her on the podcast and I want to try it out. She did not give it to me for free, guys. I totally paid for it. So, and then I liked how you can go on your YouTube channel and find most of these videos, but they're like spread out all over, and you kind of have to know what step is next. I like that you packaged it all to where you literally just log on, you start at the top and you go down, and you can watch one and do that and stop, and 2 or 3 days later come back and watch the next one.
And the information is always there.
Yes.
It's like, that's where you go for that information.
Right. And so now people can support you that way. You know, if you're kind of uncomfortable with the whole sponsored post thing, which I can totally understand, this is a very authentic you. You sat down, you did all this, you recorded all these things, and you put them together in this very straightforward informational video series. And, you know, it really helped somebody like me who was starting out and was like completely overwhelmed with all the different things that you could do. Here it is, very simple, by somebody who's actually a teacher and has this sort of teaching sort of, you know, way about her that's very easy to understand. And so for me, I really appreciated it. Now, some people will be like, well, that's kind of expensive. But if you think about going to a hair salon or a stylist and sitting down and having any of that, you're paying the same amount of money, you know, basically, I feel. So to me, it's a good investment if you want easy.
Yes. So it's just trading your time for money at that point. Yeah. All this information is on the internet for free, but you are going to spend
A lot of time.
Hours, days, weeks, months accumulating this.
Yeah.
So this is how this came about. Again, I'm almost apologetic about
don't be, girl. This is your
doing
business.
something
Let's
like
do
this.
it.
I feel like I'm a very reluctant influencer. Like, this is hard.
What makes you so likable, though?
Well, you're very kind. So here's what happened. I in the beginning, I would answer every single Instagram comment, Instagram message, Facebook message, YouTube comment, email, every single one.
Whew.
When and I wouldn't give, I don't know, I had this personal thing where if I ever commented on a social media account and that person responded, like, it meant the world to me. And so I chose to, like, that's how I started. I wanted to be that. I wanted to be there and be real and have real conversations with people, even though they're strangers on the internet. And so if somebody asked me a very specific question, I would give very specific answers. And I kept doing that in the comments and in the Instagram messages. And it was getting to the point where I was spending an hour going back and forth with people in Instagram DMs, helping them troubleshoot their hair. And it was so much fun. I absolutely loved getting to help individuals with individual problems with their hair and figure out, okay, well, if this product's doing this to your hair, and then maybe you could try this application technique and dry it like this, and maybe that's going to help you. And I kept having more and more people tell me that what I was doing was working, and they were so happy and excited. But the more I did that, I was spending close to 8 hours. If I talked to 8 people, it was very easy to talk to 40 people a week. Back and forth in the Instagram messages. I realized that that was not efficient, that there was a more efficient way to do this. So I started doing curl coaching sessions wherein people could go into my Calendly scheduling thing and find me and create, we would sit down in a Zoom meeting and I could troubleshoot with them in a much quicker period of time. And I was strongly advised by people to charge for these sessions and not do them for free. And so they were not for free, but they were extremely affordable, like just enough so that if people were going to take my information for free and then not use it at all, waste my time, waste their time, basically, it keeps me from wasting my time, and it keeps people from wasting their time, because when you pay some for something, then you're going to take it more seriously.
You're going to value it a little bit more.
You value it a little bit more. So I was doing these curl coaching sessions, and over the course of 10 months, I kept answering the same questions over and over and over. There became a very, and it didn't matter the hair type. It didn't matter. It worked for everyone. There was this formula that kind of emerged out of these curl coaching sessions. And I was fully booked for curl coaching sessions for months. And I realized that I was not going to be able to meet the needs of all the people who needed information fast enough. So that is where the curl course came from. It kind of evolved out of me answering Instagram messages and comments to doing the curl coaching sessions to creating this package, so that if go through this entire thing, if you still have questions, you can do a curl coaching session with me. So those are still available, but it's just me doing my very best to help everyone who really wants help.
Well, it's a great way. It's a great use of your time now. And also it brings value to the person who's, people who are watching your YouTube channel before and wanting to support you, by watching your videos or doing your affiliate, but now they have a very definitive product they can go buy from you, basically. And I call it a product because you're selling yourself and your ideas and your, all the things that you figured out. And I feel like that's the evolution of any kind of idea. You took this as a hobby and you started it, and then it sort of evolved over time. And I feel like a lot of people, that's just the case for so many people these days with everything they do. That's, self-entrepreneurialism.
Right.
Monday.
Yes.
I can't talk. But I think that, I think that's a great way to not only address the time issue for you, because you can't spend 8, 9, 10, you've got a small child. You know, you can't spend that much time talking to people on Instagram as much as you may want to, you know, and the desire to help out, you know, I think that was a great idea. And when I saw that you had, you know, offered that, I was like, okay, I got to try that out, because I'm all about easy and simple, and give it to me 1, 2, 3, 4, and something I can, you know, steps I can follow. So like you check off the boxes, you know?
Yes.
I did this. Okay. Now I'm going to try that and go from there. And that eliminates a lot of, you know, guesswork and issues. And maybe I won't have to worry about, you know, doing this for a long time before I see a great result. So I think that was great. And that you evolved the business so naturally for you.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be something that helps other people. I feel like people will watch a video of yours and see that that's your intent from the get-go. So I feel like that's a huge plus in your direction. Right. So,
and all this information is on my YouTube channel. There are things that are exclusive to the course that I've learned now that I didn't know a year ago in the YouTube. So, but then too, I have over 100 videos on my YouTube channel, and it is really easy to get lost in the weeds. And so the course was just meant to be complete starter kit, start here and do step by step by step by step here, and then you'll be good.
One of the things I wanted to talk about before we have to wrap up is, you know, you started this as a hobby and you've kind of monetized it, but the philosophy behind it is really, I think, what drew me to this whole process in the first place. Because yes, it's a lot of stuff on your hair and it can seem real superficial. Oh, I've got all this stuff I'm doing. But the takeaway that I have had since starting this whole process has been more about accepting and liking the flaws or the things that aren't that great, or the way things are without all this manipulation of hair color and tools, and getting to a place where you're just a lot more comfortable in your own skin, if it were, is really, I think, the defining philosophy that every woman who goes through this process, I hope that that's the thing that they sort of absorb and is the takeaway. Yeah, you can have this great hair afterwards, and that's great. But to me, that's like the secondary.
It really is
benefit.
And you know? It's really funny how it does seem so surface, but then it touches something so painfully deep, or at least it was for me, that I was like, that I've got to share this. More people need this. I think it's real easy to get caught up in beauty standards. I think that is something that literally every human being struggles with, male or female. But for women in particular, there's a lot that goes on with women's hair.
We're told this over here is what the standard of beauty is, and it's either perfectly straight hair or this perfectly curled hair that's been done in a certain way, and that's what looks good. The rest is messy, and you know, you just need to run a brush through it, honey, and you'll be better. You know, and I feel like because you and so many other people like you have been promoting more of this, accept the way you are. And then that'll blossom into something else. You know, I never would have left the house with my hair like this before.
Yes, neither would I.
So
I'm a Christian, and my tagline, it's not really a tagline, but I have a favorite verse. It's Psalms 139:14. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And growing up a Christian, I heard that a lot. But like as a female, as a woman, being told that your skin's not smooth enough, your hair's not straight enough or curled right, you're too big, you're too small, you this, that, and the other. I never believed that I was fearfully and wonderfully made. I always believed that there was something wrong with me that I had to work at, to fix, to make better. And I started doing this curly girl method just for fun. Just because this was cool. Like, let's see if my hair curls. And the more I did it, the more you literally give up control over how your hair's going to turn out. When you first start doing this, your hair looks real bad like at the beginning. No, your hair looks beautiful. But like, you feel so wildly exposed and self-conscious and vulnerable because you're not hiding behind your ability to completely shape your hair with heat. You are letting your hair do its full thing in its full natural glory. And the more I deeply, intently focused on increasing the health of my hair and just giving up the control over how it was going to look and let it do its thing, the more it's that directly corresponded with me accepting me for who I am. Yeah. I noticed I started wearing less makeup. I even left the house with no makeup on, which is not something I've done since I was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. Yes, I started wearing makeup young, but sue me. Yeah. It deeply touched the core of who I was, because I finally embraced the hair that I was born with. And if not only the hair that I was born, I started to love the hair that I was born with. This dirty dishwater blonde that I've got. I've always highlighted my hair. I quit highlighting my hair to just see how healthy I could get it, because mm-hmm. anytime you highlight your hair, you're going to be causing a little bit of damage, no matter how good the Olaplex treatment your hairdresser did before it is. There is going to be some damage. It just happens. Yeah. So I decided, for me personally, to experiment with seeing how healthy it could become by not highlighting. And then that led to me embracing the natural hair color that I was born with. And it became beautiful in my eyes. It did help that strangers on the internet were going, "You had a good wash day." There were posts on Instagram that I would make, and I would just say, "I'm frustrated with my hair. It looks like trash today. Here's what I did today that did not work. I'm making a note here so I remember never to do these things again." And on those kinds of posts, way back in 2018, people would be like, "Courtney, you're being too hard on yourself. Your hair looks good." People are really nice on Instagram.
Well, I think we're our own worst critics too. Like, yes. we really just dig ourselves down, you know, mm-hmm. and other people, you know, will, "Oh, but that looks great." Like my daughter, who's 12, she's got really curly hair naturally now that she's gone through puberty or going through puberty. Yes. And she started wearing it more naturally instead of flat ironing it. And she said, "Mom, everybody's been telling me how pretty my hair looks, and I didn't think they would do that." And I was like,
I think this has happened to every person who's done the Curly Girl method, or at least I haven't talked to somebody it hasn't happened to yet, that on your worst hair day, you'll be out in the grocery store and you will have a complete stranger compliment your hair.
Yeah.
On the worst, frizziest day. It has happened to every single one. And the more that happened, the more I realized that somehow my hair was worthy of all of this love, care, and attention. And you know what? I am too. And it is something that's why I haven't stopped trying my darndest to help other women go through this, because it is a big process and it is a lot. And you have to be like, if I can make that easier for someone, it's worth it. Because if one woman can go from hating themselves to loving themselves, yes. That's why I'm
and
here.
That's the takeaway right there. I feel like that is what this all is all about. Yeah, you can make money and turn it into a business, but it's a philosophy. It's an attitude change.
Yeah.
It's seeing yourself with different eyes and being a little bit more gracious towards yourself and these, you know, made up perfections that we're supposed to live under. So I think that's great. I think what you're doing is amazing. I'm very impressed with everything I've seen. I hope it continues to be a gigantic success for you as things go forward. All the groups I'm in on Facebook are always like, listen to SwavyCurlyCourtney, go watch her videos, you know? So I think that's great. So thank you so much for coming on. I wish we could talk to you so much longer, but there's some people here that got to get to work and we're going to have to get out of their space. But so thanks for coming on. Why don't you tell everybody really quickly before we have to go, where they can find you on social media or your website or any of those things?
So I am SwavyCurlyCourtney, SwavyCurlyCourtney on Instagram and on YouTube. And if you want more information about Courtney's Curl class, you can go to www.SwavyCurlyCourtney.com. There's a lot of information there, as well as product recommendations and things like that. So
awesome. Well, I am so glad you could be on with us today. Thank you so much for kind of giving us a behind the scenes look at how, you know, how much goes into all the videos that you do and all the things that you're providing for women out there everywhere. We want to thank everybody for listening and joining us today for this first ever video recording. You can find us on our website at PaynePoints.com and be a guest. You can message us on any of our social media, so you should do that. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review and comment. It helps us a lot. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, share. And if you're listening on Spotify, you should definitely follow or subscribe. That's going to be it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for listening, Courtney. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Alrighty.
Bye.